just a quick reading about how men view you. I hope you all are doing so good. So we have 3 groups for you to choose from. We have group 1, group 2, and group 3. If you want to pause the video to choose whichever group is calling out to you, feel free to do so, but I shall see you all in your reading. Hi there, if you chose this here first crystal, then this reading is for you. So, one second. Okay. Alright, so how do men view you, like in general, you know? So, let's see. So, the first card we have is the 3 of Cups reversed, Temperance upright, Knight of Pentacles upright, and the 7 of Swords reversed. Nice. So how do men view you? Okay, so how do men view you? I feel like men view you as someone who likes to have a good time, but maybe you're also selective with who you have a good time, or maybe you just naturally, you know, whoever you hang out with or whoever you know, spend time with, maybe it's not always a joyous, you know, occasion, but especially if you do resonate with being more, I wouldn't necessarily, I don't know if loner would be the right word, but, you know, someone who's more selective, then they definitely view you as someone that when you are around people, that you are a ton of fun. But at the same time, a little bit selective, maybe with who you enjoy time with, or the kind of people you get along with, maybe, I don't know. So yeah, men view you as someone who's maybe outgoing, but again, it depends on who you're around. I feel like maybe you're quite outgoing in general, but perhaps, again, it could be like selective, or it's like people wouldn't know you're happy by your face or by your appearance, perhaps, you know, but below the surface, I can tell that you're a lot of fun. So yeah, dudes could, men, sorry, could view you as someone who's sociable, who's fun, but I don't know, I'm getting the message of maybe just not a fan of socializing with, you know, anybody, or you have a limit on how much you can socialize, you know? So maybe you're like all raring to go for like a few hours, but then after that you're tapped out, you know? So for some of you, men could view you that way. So it's either being selective, or you have a limit, or you just have a very small, close circle of friends. It's like for some of you, they could view you as like an extroverted introvert. Like maybe on the surface you seem quite extroverted, but really you're quite introverted. Or on the surface you seem quite introverted, but below the surface you're quite extroverted, you know? So there's definitely that dynamic that men kind of view in you. Like men see you and they look at you and say like, this is someone who has experienced a lot of wild moments, someone who's experienced a lot of wild days. This could be recently, but I feel for a lot of you it's like in your youth, because I feel like when people look at you now, when men view you or look at you now, they see you as not toned down, but I feel like that is the best way I can explain it. They see you as more so toned down now. It's like, but at the same time, a lot of fun. And maybe, you know, I feel like maybe your youth could have been quite wild, or men view you as someone who maybe had like a wild upbringing, or just not your usual, you know. Yeah, but I feel for a lot of you that they view you as maybe your wild days kind of being behind you. Not that your wild days are over, but it's just like you've settled in life in some way, you know? It's like you don't constantly need to chase that rush, or maybe you're putting it on hold for some of you guys. But yeah, for some of you, men view you as having, you know, your wild days being behind you. you know, whether that be indefinitely or temporarily. But yeah, men view you as someone who's grounded. They view you as settled. They view your energy as quite healing. They view you as a whole as quite comforting as well. Men could view you as quite a spiritual person or having a spiritual connection, maybe, you know, what's that word? Like psychic abilities? It's not psychic abilities. Maybe some sort of spiritual powers, right? I don't know what people call it. But yeah. Men could also view you as like a lover, not a fighter. Like they could view you as someone who's more so a peacemaker. Men could also view you as someone who's quite methodical. At times reserved. Like this, there is this kind of selective energy around you, but all like that's the only thing. Like you may be selective if you resonate with that, but everything else just seems so chill. Like you're honest, you know, you're down to earth, you're healing, maybe you're a peacemaker, you're not about drama, you know. But yeah, men could also view you as someone that is dedicated to something more than just yourself, right? So this could either be like you're a big picture kind of person, or it could be like, say for example, when you're a parent, like you can't live for yourself. Well, you can, that is silly to say, but you can live for yourself, but there's always going to be something that's a bit more important than you, which is, you know, said child, right? So that's the only example that I can think of, but obviously apply it to like however that could resonate for you. So yeah, for some of you, like men look at you and feel like you're a big picture kind of person, or you're someone that is what's that word, like long-term oriented. Like you're not just living for the short term. It's like your long-term goals or your future is very much in your vision when you make certain moves and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, so men could also view you as not being with drama. Maybe you try to resolve drama instead of feed the fire. Like say for example, if someone was mean to you, maybe I don't know, maybe this has taken like some of you a long time to, you know, get to this point, but maybe for some of you it's like if someone, you know, was maybe a little bit mean to you, maybe instead of like just, you know, being like you know, maybe instead you take a step back and think, where's this coming from? You know, I don't know, maybe not in that degree, like, but yeah, men view you as someone who's more so about peace than drama. Okay, like men could view you as someone who has either no ego or a very healthy ego, you know. Men view you as intelligent. They view you as someone who has a lot of awareness, whether this be self-awareness or awareness of the world around you, your environment around you. They could view you as healthy. This could be in regards to diet. This could be in regards to your body. Maybe you look quite physically fit. Maybe you have an awesome diet. Men could also view you as like a bit of a humanitarian. They view you as present. Like they view you as present. I don't know what that means though. Like here, I'm present. Maybe living. Oh, let me see something. I feel like for some of you, this could be in regards to awareness. Like I'm present. Present in this moment. I don't know. For some of you, it's like, I do what I have to do what I want to do. So for some of you, men could view you as having, not necessarily having that mentality, but maybe being present in the moment where it's like, I don't know, I'm not necessarily trying to think about tomorrow, even though my goals are long term, but just trying to live in the moment. But yeah, men view you as honest, down to earth, caring, nurturing, respected as well. For some of you, this respect that you exude, some men could feel like you're hard to get, but for other men could maybe feel like you're hard to keep. in some way. It's like they wouldn't be able to just do the bare minimum, you know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like men feel like they can be themselves around you, you know? They view you as someone who's maybe secretive, not in a negative sense, but just someone who maybe keeps your cards kind of close to your chest, or you know, you don't spout off your business to just any old body, do you know what I mean? So for some of you, it could just be like you just don't let, you know, you're selective with certain information, certain things that, you know, people are allowed to know about you or what you want people to know about you. But I really get the sense that men see you as someone that they can trust, you know, someone that they can even confide in, or someone they can confess to, or someone they can come clean to. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that is what I'm having from these here tarot cards. So we have here party. We have, okay, let me see. Men see you as someone who's just like a good time, not necessarily saying that you're a party boy or you're a party girl or anything like that, but they view you as someone who likes to have a good time. Like you are very present, okay? Like, and I wish I could explain that a bit more, but I literally can't. But yeah. But yeah, men view you as a good time. I don't know if any of you are females, or even if any of you are like women, men could just really enjoy your company, like without even, you know, like as a friend, you know, without any hidden agendas, without like any hidden agendas or anything like that. So men maybe feel quite comfortable around you to be themselves, to be all blokish, you know what I mean? So yeah, anyways. So we also have stay strong in your faith. So yeah, some of you, men view you as maybe religious or spiritual. They feel like you're quite strong when it comes to your faith. But I feel like men view you as someone who's quite strong when it comes to yourself, like your morals, your goals. One second. Men either view you as someone who tries to keep a positive mindset, or someone that does. I feel like most of you it's try though. Yeah, for some of you, they feel like you have to consistently maybe remind yourself to not stay in a positive mindset, but just kind of remind yourself to be more aware of, you know, thoughts and, you know, stuff like that. And finally, we have silencing the mind. So it says, let silence guide you to your inner peace. So for some of you, men could view you as maybe slightly reserved, slightly silent. But it's like, it's not because you're just shy or something like that. Yeah, maybe you are a little bit shy, or some of you maybe. But it feels like more so I'm aware. So, you know, honestly, the most intelligent people I know don't say much. Like it's not like they can't have a conversation, but it's like they're too clued up to like just say anything or just give their opinion on anything, because I don't know. But for some of you, they could view you that way. It's like, yeah, you are silent, but you're smart. Like you're clued up a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You're aware. So yeah. But for some of you, maybe they feel like you're silent for your inner peace, or maybe you've learned to kind of quieten down to find your inner peace. And finally, we have unicorn, infinite possibilities. How nice. So it says, you are the sovereign of the unseen, of the seen and unseen worlds. The magic of love surrounds you. So for some of you, men really do view you as maybe quite mystical. Maybe they view you as someone who does have infinite possibilities as well. As someone who maybe puts other people before themselves, but like not, I was going to say not any old body, but not anyone, but maybe people who are important to you, and hopefully not in a way that is a detriment to yourself, you know? But yeah, men view you as someone who is beautiful. I feel like maybe the men closest to you view you as someone who has really transformed over the years. that is so funny. So earlier I was going to say men view you as someone who's moving towards the light. And I didn't want to say that because it sounds so freaking cryptic to me, you know? But I don't know, maybe that might resonate for some of you. They view you as someone who moves towards the light. I don't know if this is in regards to just trying to, you know, become a better person, or, you know, trying to, you know, do what's right, you know? But yeah. So yeah, men definitely view you as someone who has maybe had to abandon the darkness. Maybe if some of you were in the darkness for a while, or, you know, whatever it may be for you. But men view you as someone who made the choice, or is definitely maybe working on, or is dedicated towards finding the light in their life, you know? So yeah. But men definitely view you as someone who is not ordinary. Men definitely view you as someone who is either legendary or has the potential to be legendary. And like a good friend, compatible. You know, a lot of men maybe feel like they're compatible with you. But yeah, that is all I have for you, group 1. I hope this reading could resonate, make sense, be helpful, and be enjoyable, maybe. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Okay, so take care of yourselves. Bye. Hi there, beautiful people. If you chose this here second crystal, then this reading is for you. Welcome. I hope you all are doing so good. So how do men view you? Okay, so we have the Page of Swords upright, Queen of Pentacles upright, the Devil reversed. Nice. 9 of Cups reversed. Interesting. So how do men view you? Okay, so men could view you as maybe talkative, knowledgeable, maybe quite curious as well. They view you as someone who's educated. I feel like men view you as like a queen, or, you know, like royalty. Maybe it's like an energy you give off, or maybe you take good care of your appearance. But it doesn't even have to be about appearance. Like, it could be appearance or energy, or maybe a bit of both. But you do kind of give off this kind of royalty air. Men view you as someone who maybe looks good, smells good, like you're well presented in a way, like even on even on your days where you're dressing more like down or casual, you still look good, you know, you're still very much well presented. Some men could view you as someone who maybe cares about appearance. This may not be related to looks though, you know, so it could be like in terms of keeping up appearances as opposed to like aesthetic. Or it could be a bit of both, or maybe neither, who knows, you know? Men could also view you as talented. Like, they could view you as just talented in general, like quite a multifaceted person, quite dynamic as well. But for some of you, like, men could view you as someone who is maybe good at making other people feel not so alone, you know? Like, so men could view you as like relatable, you know? So yeah, men view you as someone who is respected, maybe also someone who's respectful. They view you as like wealthy. And again, this could be in terms of your energy, and maybe in terms of, you know, material stuff, in terms of finances or career. But they almost look at you and feel like this is someone who's doing well for themselves, you know, or this is someone who has done well for themselves. Like, they almost view you as someone that has like a high status, you know. So again, like, I'm not talking about in, you know, stereotypical ways, you know, whatever way it resonates for you, but they view you as someone who has like a high, I want to say self-worth, but it may not even be self-worth. I feel like it's just an air that you may give off I mean, maybe some of you do have, you know, very good self-worth, which is awesome. But they do view you as someone who had like some sort of high status, maybe like in terms of your job or in terms of your community or your family, you know. So men could also view you as someone who's reserved. Like they would view you as someone who's like wifey material, hubby material, you know. It's like you're a catch. Okay, I don't know if this is going to resonate for everyone, but for some of you, men could view you as maybe immature. And I feel like this is only a perception, like especially if you take a long time to consider things, or if you're quite indecisive at times, or you're like conflicted, or you know, you can't make up your mind. I don't know. But for some of you, they could feel like you're, you know, they could perceive you as immature. It doesn't feel like in a negative way, like you're immature and you're whatever people associate with being immature, you know. But yeah, so for some of you, it's like maybe you just take careful consideration before doing something. For others of you, and again, this may not resonate for everyone, but for some of you, maybe men view you as maybe like a little bit slow. So this could be slow moving, or maybe just like a bit, you know, like airy fairy sometimes. But yeah. But they view you as someone who's confident, strong, both mentally and physically, perhaps as well. But yeah, I feel like you kind of give off this royalty kind of energy. Okay. I don't know if this is going to resonate for everyone, but for some of you, men can view you as like a stalker. So I don't know if that's just whether you're just really intelligent and you can read people, and people think like, how would you know that unless you're not stalking me? Do you know what I mean? Maybe for some of you, maybe stalking people is in your job description. I don't know, you know? Maybe, I don't know, maybe for some reason men could just view you that way. But again, not for everyone. And I'm hearing like, if there is another definition for the word stalker, I'm not sure, but after this reading, that's like literally the first thing I'm going to do. If there's another definition for the word stalker, then they could feel like you're a stalker in that way. I'm not even sure if that way exists yet, you know? Anyways, or it could be that people, or men, sorry, are just very curious about you, you know? Like, I can't read your story by just looking at your cover, you know? I could try, but... Anyways, so they also view you as someone who's quite generous, someone who's helpful and supportive, someone who's womanly as well. This could be in terms of your energy. Like, obviously, if you're a woman... I don't know, if you're a dude and you resonate with being womanly, then obviously, like, take it. Oh, let me see, one second. One second. But yeah. But it doesn't feel like necessarily like saying that you have a feminine energy. I don't know if there's different, I don't know. For some of you, maybe it's womanly in terms of your figure. And like, again, not in a stereotypical way, like how other people would define womanly, you know, like it's obviously subjective, right? So they could feel like you're womanly in whatever way that they may find you womanly, you know? Yeah. They could also view you as someone who's quite protective. Like you would make a good home. They could also view you as comforting, youthful as well. Like most of the time, youthful. This could be in energy. This could be in terms of your looks as well. They view you as someone who's quite established, someone who has healed tremendously in their lifetime. They could view you as someone who's maybe possessive. This could be like possessive of the people you love, but maybe on the outside looking in, it could look like being possessive, but maybe it's just like you're protective, or maybe overly protective at times, which I guess could borderline possessive. I don't know. I don't know if they're different. I need to think about that. But yeah, so for some of you, they could view you as possessive over your gang, over your, you know, people you care about. They could also view you as maybe a little bit standoffish at times, very charming, like hard to pin down. This could be in terms of like hard to pin down, like you are, what's that word? You know, hard to get a little bit. But for some of you, this could be like pinned down for a conversation. Like maybe you're quite busy, or, you know, when they, you know, if like they feel like having a conversation with you, they feel like maybe you're not open to it or something like that, you know. So for some of you, like men could view you as serious most of the time, or on the surface it could appear that way. But yeah, they could view you as someone who's like overcame a lot. Maybe even view you as like self-made in a way. I don't know how this is going to resonate for some of you, but some men could view you, or they could, you know, view themselves actually as unlucky in your presence. Like, I don't know, this could be for many reasons. And I'm not going to say what's coming to my head because it sounds so obnoxious, but yeah, men could feel like unlucky in your presence for whatever reason. But obviously, if it doesn't resonate, then just throw that message away. Like, don't try to, like, you know. But some men could view you as maybe ungrateful of yourself, like your amazing self. Like, how could you not appreciate your awesome self a bit more, do you know? Maybe view you as a little uptight at times, maybe emotional, maybe quite sensitive as well. For some of you, maybe even like unexpressive, like maybe in terms of your facial expressions, or it's like when you're not, you know, doing something where you actually have to like visibly show like some sort of expression on the surface level, you can maybe seem quite like, maybe like resting bitch face a little bit for some of you. But yeah, let's see what else we got. So we have here answered prayers. All your great work has opened the door for divine solution and support. So men view you as someone who has either been rewarded for all their hard work, their grind, their effort, their consistency, you know, even managing to overcome, you know, certain struggles. They feel like that basically you deserve whatever great stuff comes your way, I feel like. So we have here money. So men could view you as maybe someone who's quite wealthy. Maybe you're good with money, good with finances. So men maybe view you as someone who knows yourself. Like, you know yourself, maybe you're comfortable in the skin you're in as well. But yeah, men could view you as maybe quite aware of yourself. Like, they view you as wealthy in terms of your spirit, maybe in terms of what you have, your possessions as well. And we have here work of art. Yeah, men view you as like beautiful, very well put together, a work of art, you know, very beautiful. And finally, we have abundance. That is so funny. Well, not funny, it's beautiful actually. So yeah, some men could view you as very abundant, you know. So it says here, sacred buffalo, cloak me in your wisdom, keep me warm through the storms of life, fill my life with goodness, teach me the way of gratitude and prayer. So I feel like what this card was saying, I feel like this men could view you as having this kind of essence where maybe there is something about you that's a bit, you know, sacred or wise, or maybe there is a bit of an old soul about you, even though you do come across as youthful at times. Like this, there is this sense of having an old soul. Maybe you are able to kind of help other people feel supported and help other people feel warm or more appreciative and grateful towards themselves. But they maybe see you as someone who's maybe has like a very deep connection to like higher powers as well. or maybe even in your life, in your personal life, if that resonates with you, if you have people who are able to like support you and, you know, be there for you, and they could feel like maybe you have a good support system. But yeah, I feel like overall they just view you as someone who has a lot of good stuff in your life, you know? But yeah, that is all I have for you, group 2. I hope this reading could be enjoyable in some way. I hope you could, it was nice, I don't know. But I hope to see you guys again soon, alright? So take care of yourselves. Bye! Hi there, beautiful people. I hope you all are doing so good. If you chose this here, third crystal, then this reading is for you. I hope you all are doing good. So what are we doing today? How do men view you? Okay, so let's see. So we have here I want to say the Page of Swords. Yeah, we have the Page of Swords reversed. We have 9 of Cups upright, the Tower reversed, and we have Judgment upright. Okay, this is interesting. So how do men view you, group 1? 2, 3, gosh, 3. Okay, so men could view you as someone who is very cautious. Maybe some of you, like, they view you as a bit of a rebel. Oh God, so sorry. I'm so sorry. There's like such a kerfuffle going on outside my building. But yeah, for some of you, they could view you as maybe slightly anxious, maybe a bit flustered at times, or maybe easily flustered. For some of you, they could view you as someone like that turns a blind eye. And like this could be in a lot of ways. For some of you, maybe this is in regards to opportunities, maybe, you know, people who are interested in you. Maybe you kind of act a bit oblivious when people are, you know, show interest in you. But this could be in other ways too. It doesn't have to be a negative. So some men could also view you as maybe a little chaotic, or maybe just a little bit antsy, maybe a bit on edge as well. For some of you, maybe immature or underdeveloped in some way, or inexperienced. Again, it doesn't have to be a negative thing. Sometimes it just is what it is. Unfortunately, you know, some people, you know, grow up in a life, or, you know, live a life where they don't get to, you know, develop in a way that they, you know, should, or not should, because there's no, I don't know. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm just rambling now. But yeah, it doesn't have to be a negative. They view you as someone that they can have great conversations with. They maybe view you as a little withdrawn at times. But I feel for some of you, it could just be because you are your own person. It's like you're very one of a kind, you know, you have your quirks, and maybe, you know, maybe just not a lot of people can resonate with you, and that's fine too, right? But yeah, men view you as someone who's very independent, very nurturing as well. For some of you, men could view you as maybe a little defensive. They could view you also as intense. For some of you, maybe even like a little bit intimidating. Like they feel like you are someone who's maybe gone through a lot of chaos in your life, but like a phoenix, you rise, right? Like men view you as someone who is deserving of a lot of praise. Yeah, but they view you as someone who's maybe has gone through a lot of turmoil, unfortunately, maybe recently, or just, you know, certain events throughout your life, unfortunately. But I feel for some of you, like when men look at you, they view you as, how do I say this? Like your past has heavily shaped, or, you know, certain major events in your life have majorly shaped who you are today in quite a significant way. Men also view you as someone who's maybe vulnerable, but maybe tries to appear strong, or you not, I don't know if put on a brave face would be the right word, but some of you maybe, I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, they view you as someone who's self-reliant though, very much deserving of blessings and affection. For some of you, like, they even view you as someone who's quite affectionate, someone who's quite friendly as well. But maybe as just someone who has their darkness, who has their demons, like who has a very visible shadow, yeah, anyways. But they also view you as someone who has a lot of awareness, like there's a lot of awareness about you. So whether that be in regards to your surroundings, yourself, awareness of other people, maybe picking up on certain cues, stuff like that. They could also view you as someone who's quite wise. They feel like there's quite a lot of depth to you as well. For some of you, they view you as someone who is maybe rebuilding your life at the moment, or rebuilding your foundation, or reestablishing yourself in some way, or that you've had to do that in a major way, maybe recently or in your life. But they view you as someone who's quite empathetic, kind, and good-natured. Maybe they feel like you're someone who has a very unique outlook, a very unique perspective on life and certain things, and even though it may not be rosy all the time, there's still like hope. Like when people look at you, or men see you, they feel like you're still hopeful despite, certain things, unfortunately. So we have here life-changing epiphany or experience. It's time of big and blessed change for you, and God is supporting you each step of the way. So yeah, I feel like for some of you, you have really gone through some life-changing moments, and when men look at you, they see you that you've been through a lot of life-changing things, and maybe that has shaped your perspective, and maybe it has changed you or changed your course in life. But they could like feel like whatever happened to you, and I don't want to say this, like I don't want it to feel like I'm minimizing, anything. But you know how like superheroes, they always have this tragic ass backstory, but it's like if they didn't have that backstory, they wouldn't be superheroes. And I feel like for some of you, it's like they could look at you or view you in that way, but only take that if it resonates. I know some of you might resonate with that, but maybe not everyone, and that's okay. But yeah. So we have here X, reunite with a lost part of your soul. Aww. So for some of you, men could view you as someone who's maybe trying to find yourself again. So it could be trying to find yourself, rebuilding yourself, unlearning certain things, relearning certain things, right? So for some of you, men could look at you and feel like you're almost like you're reconnecting with yourself, or you're trying to reconnect with yourself, or you are trying to discover your true self, or trying to find that, I don't want to say missing piece of you, but kind of like, glue certain parts of yourself back together with gold, So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I made that more complicated than I need to. So we also have here surrender with joy. No, surrender with joy. Yeah, achieve greatness through surrender. So men view you as someone who is destined to achieve greatness, but I also feel like men feel like they can surrender in your company and feel happy being vulnerable in your company. Like maybe certain things I wouldn't even share with my dude friends, or, share with certain female friends, but like I feel comfortable, surrendering in front of you, or, releasing certain things in front of you. I feel for some of you, maybe there's a bit of an understanding, like, if any of you resonate with having like that little bit of darkness to you, maybe some people, resonate with that. They feel safe, right? So it makes them feel like their shadow is more accepted, or their shadow is not so ugly as they thought it was, you know. So for some of you, you could just make people feel accepted for who they are, for their flaws as well, you know, as long as they're not leading with bad intentions, right? But yeah, what else do we have? And finally, we have Coyote, revealer of truth. And so it says here, don't take things too seriously, make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. So men could view you as someone who has maybe, you know, because of the ups and downs you've experienced in your life, you're quite experienced, you know, in maybe in terms of what to look out for, maybe, you know, tricks, potential traps, you know, whatever tough lessons you've maybe had to unfortunately face in your life. Maybe people view you as someone who has learned from those experiences, you know, and became a little wiser because of those experiences. So for some of you, men could view you as playful, like you're not afraid to like be sarcastic or laugh at yourself or be a bit goofy. For some of you, men could view you as someone who, I don't necessarily know if taking things too seriously is the right term, but they could maybe view you as quite serious, or they just kind of view you as someone who needs a bit more fun and playfulness in their life, you know. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're the opposite, but it could be for whatever reason, but they could view you as someone who is in need of so much more loving and laughter and playfulness in their life. But yeah, that's all I have for you, the group 3. I hope this reading could resonate and be helpful or enjoyable in some way. But I'm wishing you all the best on your journeys moving forward anyways, all right? So take care of yourselves. Bye.